Okay, so today we're going to go over the Chausson 711. I'm going to do a quick handover for you. Starting at the back of the vehicle, you've got one locker right at the back to access your garage. In there you've got your tie down points, and you'll also notice your packs. Next is your gas flow system. Unlock, open up, as you can see, it's all fitted. With your gas flow system, filling this up is dead simple. All you've got to do, push in, turn, and then you can connect your adapter. Various stations and places where you want to refill your gas will use different connection points, and this is the reason why you've got different connection points down here and adapters to do so. Just in there for you. Moving on, you've next got your trimmer vent. This in essence is your chimney for your heater. When you're stationary and on site, remove the cover so then the heater has got a place to breathe. However, when you are travelling, make sure you stick this on so no dirt gets inside. Moving on, you've got external shower point just on a bayonet fitting, and that'll just slot into there. And then you have your cassette toilet. The most important thing I can say with this is make sure that the blade is closed when removing the toilet, and simply push up on this and pull out. Next to these are your fridge vents, just here. Moving forward is where you fill up with your diesel. Make sure it's diesel and not water. Diesel in here, and then you've got your AdBlue system just down there. Things like tyre pressures are all in the door sill here. And your bonnet release catch is just located on the passenger side on the dashboard. Underneath the bonnet, the main things that you're going to need to know is if you're ever going to jump start the vehicle, you need to know obviously where to jump start from. On here, this is your negative, so connect your negative onto this point here, and your positive is just underneath this cap here. Underneath here, flick that up, positive onto there. There's also a little positive sign on the top of the cap. Just to point out a couple more things as well for you. You've got your engine oil here, and then your dipstick here. Brake disc fluid, your engine coolant, and then your washer fluid just in there. Moving around to the other side, you've got your awning on the side. With your awning, it's just a wind out system. Got a pole which will just connect onto the end there, and then you simply wind it out. Your legs will then drop down, let them take the weight of the awning, and then simply just walk the awning out. Next we have your water system and also your electrics with your fuse box and etc. Before I move on to the water system, in here you have where all your fuse boxes are and also your RCD breaker. If your vehicle ever trips, come to this box here and then look at your manual to see how that works. As I say, trip box just there, and then just to the side of that is your fuse box. So all your fuses are there. Moving on, you've got also a 120 litre fresh water tank. Filling up this tank, pull this out, undo the cap, water in, and let it fill up. If you're wanting to clean this tank as well, that's what this big cap is for. Underneath there, here is a drain down point. This is a quick drain down point, and it'll drain the whole system to 20 litres, for example if you're moving on to another site. However, this will only work when you've got your pump on. Just push it up when you want to drain. Push it down when you don't. Underneath the vehicle is where you can drain the water system. You'll notice you have a pipe at the front, a back pipe there, and then also a pipe just in the middle here. That middle pipe is where you can drain the system down, and this will drain the whole system, the whole 120 litres of fresh water down. You simply do that by making contact with the button, pinch, and then pull off. The water will then come out. You can then leave this off as you're travelling. These pipes that you can see here, these blue tubes that you can see, these are breather pipes. Don't be confused between the two. As I say, the middle one is the one that controls the water tank and will drain down the system. Moving on, you next have your hookup lead, hook up to mains, which is just in there, and then when you're removing your mains cable, you have a blue toggle there which you can just remove. Next, you'll notice you've got a sticker here. What that's for is your grey wastewater, and this is where you want to drain down the system. Underneath, you'll notice you've got a grey pipe rather, and just a black handle there. Pull that handle towards you, and that'll empty the whole system. Next, you have your gas barbecue point, and then also your garage with a bigger entrance door. In the vehicle, this is your main control panel. On your control panel, you have your main master. Hold to turn off. As I say, just click once to turn on. That'll turn on all your lights. Next to that is your light button. That's for your interior lights, and then you'll also notice this light button here as well. Click that for your door light. In the middle is your pump switch. You can just see there. Now, click that. That activates the pump. Only activate your pump when you've got water in the system. Obviously, when you're on site and you've got your system full, click your pump on. Go to all your taps. Turn them on and turn them to hot. What that's going to do is it's going to pull the fresh water into the system, and then through the boiler with it going hot, with you putting it on hot, and then it'll then spurt out the end of the tap. As I say, it will spurt out, and this is just priming the system. When it is running fluidly and at a steady flow, you will prime your system. Once you've done that, you need to flick it over to cooled water and do the exact same. Just below, you have your habitation battery. Show its level there. We're not plugged in at the moment, hence why it's showing low. You've then got your vehicle battery. You've got your freshwater tank, which shows you your level there. Here is just the brightness of the screen, which you can adjust to your liking. The Chausson uses a diesel heater, which is a Webasto system. For the Webasto system to use it, all you've got to do, turn the dial and turn it on. What a lot of people will do is they'll turn it on full first. What you'll find is it'll flicker the lights. That's because the vehicle is warming up. It's warming up the tank. So it uses a lot of power, so it's drawing a lot of power. So it'll begin to flicker the lights. That'll last for around 15 minutes, and then once it's settled, then your lights will then go back to an even light. Next, your kitchen area. You have your sink, as I've said, priming your system. Flick it to hot, flick it to cold to prime it, and then you've got your hob system. You've got an electric hob and then 2 gas. And then you can see on your knobs here, you've got your igniter switch, and then your knobs to feed in the gas or the electric. Moving down, you have your oven in there as well. In the kitchen area as well, you'll notice a socket and also these buttons with a bed on. You've got that one, you've also got two on the end. One with a bed on and one with a table. These operate the drop-down bed systems, which I'll show you in a minute. Next you have your telly, which is on your bracket there, which you can slide across just by pressing that down and simply pulling out. In here you have your max view aerial. All you've got to do with this is click that switch on the bottom. When it lights up blue, it's on. In this area here you will notice that there's a grey tap. You'll find these dotted around the vehicle in some of the various cupboards. What these are isolation taps. What we say is don't use these. Only use these when you are advised to by a technician or myself. On your windows, you've got your fly screen, along with your blinds as well. On your windows as well, to open them, simply pressing the little button and turn. That then allows the window to come free. Push up, you'll hear some little clicks, and that allows it to stop into place. When you want to bring it all the way down, simply push up. That'll allow you to drop the window and simply clip into place. You can have these on venting as well. However, we always say double check these when you're driving because you need to make sure that they're shut. For the bed system, you have a key here. Simply turn that to turn and activate the electrics on. And then you can simply press the button and that will lower the table. So, just make sure, obviously, before you drop the bed, the area is clear. Once everything has been moved, you can then drop the bed. Now your bed has dropped into position. What we say is you can keep all your bedding on here, just with your pillows. You might want to store them in the lockers just here. Next, in your bathroom area, you have your toilet cassette. In here you can see that the blade is closed. And you can see that that cap is over the cassette toilet. To open that cap, simply push that away from you. And that will open the slider and allow all the waste to go into the cassette. As I say, always close this once done. Before doing that, your flush is on the back wall. This blue button activates the flush. You need to have your pump on to activate the flush. Once you've done your waste, press the flush and then close the blade. Next, you have your shower and also your tap. Your tap is inbuilt with the shower. Your shower head is just here and then I will attach onto here like so. It's also worth mentioning that the toilet cassette does also swivel so you can get yourself comfy. For your fridge is a three-way system. It works off your leisure battery, gas and electric, which is just there. It has an auto function, which is just here, and that'll select whichever fuel it has access to. In the fridge, you have your fridge here, and then just up at the top is your freezer, which is in here. And they just lock into place with these little catches there. Going back to the control panel, you've also got your temperature here, and then if you do get any error codes, for example, if you select the wrong fuel, you'll get a little warning here. There, you then need to reset the fridge, which we say go back to your manual and have a look at. Next, before we move into the cab, you have your second drop-down bed, which is up at the front. Again, you can activate that just by this switch here, providing your key is in the slot. And then simply hold the switch and that will drop the bed. It'll then stop automatically, get your ladders on, and then up you go. In your cab, you have your two driver's seat and passenger seat. And here, just to swivel that, pull this lever here, and that allows you to swivel the entire chair. Finally, in the cab, you've got your reversing camera, which is mirror mounted up here. When you go into reverse, this will then be activated. You then have your roof light directly above this. Again, just as the same as the windows, push the buttons in to release these, and then you can then simply push up. To then close, push all the way up, and then let it drop. Finally, you have your water heater. You have two options with this. You either have your gas or your electric. For gas, it's controlled underneath here on this switch. As it is now, it's off. To select between the two options, push up on the switch. You then got the 50 degrees selected, or push down on the switch. You've then got your 70 degrees activated. And as I say, flick to the middle will mean that it's off. Between these two, 50 degrees is typically used when you're having a shower, and 70 degrees is used when you're washing pots and pans and things like that. Finally, if you want to heat the water just off electric, this is where you do it from. It's the exact same. In the middle is off. Up is 1 kilowatt electric, down is 2 kilowatt electric, providing on obviously how much you are provided with on site.